Hey guys, it's Tombox. Welcome to Meta Trends. In today's episode of Meta Trends, we're going to be looking at modern meta combo, post Legacy of Destruction, post banless. So over the past weekend, you may have heard that Snake Eye has replaced several of the missing key factors such as Baron and Savage, and now they're playing Dissipator Rip 2 through the use of Cyframe Lord Omega. We're going to be demoing two lines for that. One safe line, one not a safe line, but as long as you get there, you get there. It's more or less going to win you the game for the most part. Then we also have Melodious combo. This is an upcoming monster from Legacy of Destruction. We have Baka or Bacha. That particular card has made Ostinato a much more powerful card because it gives you a perfect light opening that gives you 3 monsters that can lead to Appaloosa, draw 1, and set up your pendulum skills all in one card. So that is a very fascinating one. Whether or not you want to play that over Branded Fusion in your Voiceless voice deck, you can be the judge of that in the combo demo. And then finally we have Tenpai Dragon that's going to be very popular. I've already done a deck profile, and if you want to see some of those combos, you can just click on right over there. But I want to break down what each of the cards mean when it comes to Tenpai. Why does it seem like it's so resilient? And also one combo that makes you look like you're super dead and there's not much you can do. So hit that like button, hit subscribe, ding that notification bell, and let's go. Starting with the most intriguing combo to me, it's going to be the update to Melodious and Voiceless Voice. Ostinato and Diviner, there's more combos to be had with this, and you can even have different starters, such as having actual Melodious monsters. But we're going to go with the most broken one, and if you want to see some of the other openings, check it out by subscribing, and it'll be in the upcoming Melodious Voiceless Voice deck profile. Starting off with Ostinato, this card is crazy. It is essentially the Branded Fusion for Melodious, as long as you don't control another monster. So we get to send 2 of the refrains, which is the new pendulum monsters, as the fusion material to summon out our Baka. Baka is really safe. Once this card lands onto the field, you get to summon one from your deck. You get to summon a monster from your deck that's Melodious, and that's going to be Refrain. Don't worry about this card getting Ash. It can't be Ash because it cannot be negated after it's summoned by fusion. So now we get Refrain on the board. Once Refrain hits the field, you get to add another copy of a different card to your hand. So we're going to add Couplet. Because Couplet got added to your hand like Poplar, we can reveal it, and then we get to summon back one of the Melodious in the graveyard. So one Ostinato automatically just generates so many monsters on its own. Activate Couplet, and it offers you an additional card as well, such as Melodious Concerto. Now that you have Concerto, you can perform another fusion summon. Okay, you can activate the Concerto, fusing with your Pendulum Scale and your Refrain. That's what it offers, and it also has a draw effect later on that we will use. So we're going to make another copy of Baka onto the field. Basha? I don't know. Here we go. Now that you summon out a fusion monster, this is going to trigger both of these pendulum monsters while they're in the extra monster zone. So we're going to put them back onto the scale, as that's the effect. Now you have a scale 1 and a scale 9. And from here, we're going to just take advantage and build a board. Starting with, we're going to take the Refrain and the Baka. We're going to just link them up into an IP Masquerena. This is going to trigger the Baka, and it's also going to trigger the Concerto. Concerto will give you the draw. I'll go Chain Link 1. I'll probably go with the Concerto, and Chain Link 2 will go with the Baka, since that can be maybe Ash, but I guess it's just another Ash bait, to be honest. We can summon this from the graveyard, and this is going to go bottom deck, and you get to draw 1 card. So that's basically a free setup here. And if you want to see how this kind of climbs up, we're now going to continue to link summon into Exceed the Pendulum now. Exceed the Pendulum effect is going to put the Refrain back into your hand, because you can. And then you can use Exceed the Pendulum effect to summon the card from your hand. Therefore, you just have enough stuff just to keep going, because that's the other effect that Exceeds the Pendulum. Now you can take these 2 and go into Appaloosa. Now you have a 2-mat Appaloosa before you even started your regular play. And no, Ostinato does not restrict you into anything, so you can just play normally, or you can just do a Pendulum Summon because you have full scales. So if you just Pendulum Summon these cards out onto the field, you can activate your Diviner, and it's a lot safer to play under like the Ash, well, not Imperm, but it's still pretty nice even if you have to play under Imperm, considering you still have a normal summon. And depending on what your other 3 cards can be, it can work out pretty nicely. So if you go to Diviner, so this is the part where you can kind of pivot into some nasty end boards. So if you're going for Diviner, obviously you throw Trias Haracha into the graveyard. I call it Trias Haracha, it's Hierarchia, whatever it is, whatever you guys want to call it. Activate the effect, tribute, summon out this. Activate the effect of Diviner. Diviner summons out Low. Low's effect is going to get us the Barrier. Barrier effect, get the Saphira, dump, and get yourself a Skull, Guardian, and you throw into the graveyard of prayers of the Voiceless Voice. You have so many options right now, and it's very hard for them to get rid of your Saphira because they need something like a Bestial or a DD Crow. So at this point, you can just activate the Saphira pretty safely. Now, if you want to go for a Thunder Dragon finish, you would get rid of the Trias. Well, let's just go for it anyway because it pivots into both. So this way you can maintain the Omni Negate and the Appaloosa. But here's the thing, even if the combo doesn't work all the way through, you still have a level 7 light monsters that you contribute. So if you want to keep everything, you can. And this is what it offers you. And you can turn this into SP Little Knight as well. So from here, we get to grab another card. We're going to grab Saphira so that we have targeting protection. And we're going to try to make Thunder Dragon this time, okay? So we're going to take the 2 refrains. We're going to overlay these 2. And we're going to make Infernal Flame Banshee. And with Infernal Flame Banshee, we're going to detach, put that into the grave, and we're going to add Nemesis Flag into your hand. Yes, you can pivot into Protos as well. And the reason why we made IP is because IP offers you the dark, now you have the lights, and you have the fire. So that gives you the 3 attributes for the Protos. So if you want to go for Protos, you can, and then you can just shut your opponent down completely if playing dark or fire decks. Don't do it for light decks. That's going to slowly destroy you as well. But instead, we're going to go for the Nemesis Corridor this time. So we're going to banish, or rather put back a banish, put the Nemesis Flag up, activate Nemesis Flag to get the Nemesis Corridor. From here, you can just take some of your monsters, like your Nemesis Flag that you don't really need with the Banshee, put them into the graveyard, leave yourself with a nice little SP. Yes, this is a Japanese SP because I am using it on the other decks for now. And now we can put back our Saphira and summon out Nemesis Corridor. Nemesis Corridor now converts itself into a Thunder Dragon Colossus. So this is kind of like the end board that we're looking at because of the 2 cards. You have also a Saphira so that they can't just negate Colossus. Yeah, this is a very, very mean board. And just like as an additional note, the reason why that board is so fascinating is just because if you use Ostinato as the opening play, they do have to answer it because it offers them the Appaloosa line. And even if you don't answer or you answer it midway, you offer them so many bodies that if you haven't noticed, I haven't even normal summoned that turn. So if I get to my normal summon and just keep going, I just get to play a regular Voiceless Voice board. And that's after you committed your hand traps. And it's very hard to like nib them too because you're going to have to nib them before they get to Appaloosa now. In other words, you need 2 or more hand traps to even play through the board. That's why that card, ridiculous. Have to ash it. Now, before we continue, a slight announcement on MST.merch.com. Check out MST.merch.com if you guys want to pick up your card game essentials, sleeves, foil sleeves, over sleeves. You know, if you want to help support the channel, sleeves galore, we have it all. If you want to organize your collection, we have box dividers, as well as mats. We have tons of stuff in there. You can buy them in bulk, save a bit on the shipping, save a bit on mass orders. You guys can check out MSTmerch.com. Now, I want this to be very clear that there's going to be shipping delays April 30th and onwards for 2 weeks, all right? April 30th and onwards for 2 weeks. There's going to be shipping delays. So if you do order during then, just note that there will be a shipping delay. So if you want to get your orders fulfilled earlier, order 29th and before, you're good to go. But anything that is 30th and onwards, they will be delayed. Okay, so if you want to pick up some stuff from MSTmerch.com and you want them to arrive sooner, then you better order before the 29th. But don't worry, we'll be back afterwards, and then we've probably got some new products lined up for you as well. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for hearing this little message, and let's get back to the combo. Snake Eye's double Omega Rip combo is the new trend in the Snake Eye combo. They essentially replaced the Baron de Fleur and the Sporlord Savage for Cyframe Lord Omega, and this beta they still establish negates. It's pretty nasty, so there's 2 different ways to get there. I'm going to show you how. You guys can judge which one's better for your suited needs. One costs more cards in the hand, feels a little bit safer. The other one, way more greedy, but you can maintain basically your entire hand along the way. So starting off with the safer line, starting off with the very basic normal summon Snake Eye Ash. Add the Poplar into hand, Poplar summon out from the effect. Adding the field spell to hand, activate the field spell, spinning the Oak into the spell and trap zone, activating the Snake Eyes Ash effect, summoning out the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. From here, we're ditching a card from our hand, say the Imperm, to get the Diabel Star of the Black Witch onto the field, activating the effect that's going to place the original Sinful Sword Snake Eye onto the field. We're going to activate this and we're going to send away the Temple, and this is going to special summon our Jet Synchron from the deck. While we try to maintain the Flamberge on the field, because if they nib us, we get to summon 3 back and we get to perform our regular Snake Eye combo, essentially. So not too much of change there. And now we take the Jet Synchron and the Diabell Star. We're going to perform a Synchro Summon into our first monster, Psyframe Lord Omega. This is going to let you do a little bit of a quick hand check against your opponent. You activate Omega, rip a card out. So that's one. Then we activate the Jet Synchron from our graveyard. We're going to send a card from the graveyard, special summon it back onto the field. This one is a bit more hand costly. And from here, you can perform a Link Summon of IP Masquerena using the Flamberge. So this gets banished. However, Flamberge is going to activate and summoning back your Oak and your Ash, and your Oak is going to summon back your Jet. So this is how you maintain your Jet anyway. From here, you can take the Jet and the Ash, Synchro Summon it with it, and get yourself the Formula Synchron. Then you can take this effect, draw a card, doesn't really matter. Now you can perform another Link Summon. Basically the Poplar and the IP, going to Promethean Princess effect, special summon back your Flamberge Dragon. Activate Flamberge, putting the IP into the back row. Activate Oak effect. We're going to send away the Promethean Princess, and that's going to summon out another Flamberge. Now we're going to perform a Synchro Summon using the Formula Synchron and the Flamberge, as it is a dragon, summoning out the Bestial Dissipator effect, summon back the Light Monster, which will be our Omega, and activate Omega again, and that's going to perform another hand rip. And this is going to have 2 banished cards, so you can destroy or negate, and you still have the regular line of whatever that's still available here. So 4 cards into the play. Now this is the, I guess, safer line for the most part, but here's the greedier one. And this is the greedier line, the one that maintains more cards in your hand, but a little bit less safe. Shout out to Christian Arena in his top 32 profile from YCS Riley. You guys can check it out, link in the description. So he's the one that showcased this, but essentially it's kind of the same stuff. You do the more, you know, known line for Snake Eye, starting off with the Snake Eye Ash into Poplar special summon, and Poplar effect, adding the field spell. Play the field spell, put the Oak into the back, activate the Ash, sending away the Oak with it, and that's going to summon out the Flamberge Dragon. For the most part here, it's still the like old school Snake Eye combo if you only have the Ash. Now you're going to perform a Link Summon with the Poplar and the Flamberge, summoning out the IP Masquerena. And that's going to trigger Poplar and Flamberge. Flamberge 1, Poplar 2, targeting the Flamberge. Flamberge gets put into the back row, and you get to summon back your Oak and your Ash, and Oak effect is going to summon back the Poplar. So this part here is something that we are pretty familiar with by now. And so from here, we're going to take the Flamberge and send it to the grave, summon the Diabell Star. Diabell Star effect is going to reset the original simple spell Snake Eye. You can activate this and get rid of the field spell, as there's not really much you're going to be able to maintain with the back row, and that's going to summon out your Jet Synchron. Immediately you can just go into our Omega. If they didn't nib you there, they're probably not going to nib you anyway. So that's according to Christian's logic. So we're going to use Omega to kind of do a little bit of a quick hand check. Just rip it out of their hand. And from here, we're just going to perform basic Snake Eye stuff. You can just use the Jet Synchron right now, just summon it back. And you can just dump one, summon the Jet back. And you're going to draw a new card anyway. So just take this Synchro. This is going to get banished now. Synchro into our Formula Synchron, drawing a card to replace the Imperm that you lost, but you can still maintain as like the best cards available. And you can take Snake Eye Ash and the IP Masquerena, go into Promethean Princess effect. You're going to summon back the Flamberge effect, put the IP into the back, activate Snake Eye's Oak, and you want to summon out your other copy of Flamberge. And you can take the Formula Synchron and the Flamberge Dragon. Once again, doing the same thing, but you get to maintain more cards in your hand. You go to Dissipator effect, summon back the Omega effect, rip another card out of their hand till your next standby. So it's pretty rough, and you have more cards in your hand, considering that this was the hand that we had. So this is pretty hard times. So this is Tenpai Dragon. Why are they all laid out like this? This is not a combo. It's not a combo tutorial. It will be in a short second. I just want to teach you how to read the board here. So Chandra essentially is the monster you definitely want on the field. It is your tuner. Without this, there is no OTK. So this is basically the centerpiece of the entire thing. Sure, you can have Pydra. Pydra essentially just gets into Kaiman if you don't have Chandra, and Chandra can lead to Fadra being summoned onto the field as well. So that's why Chandra is pivotal to everything. And if you only have Chandra, then you can summon out Pydra. Pydra can lead to Kaiman, leading you to Pydra. Or if you need big damage, you can get Sangan Summoning. If you already have Sangan Summoning and you put out Chandra, that means Pydra will only lead down the path of Kaiman going into Fadra. And then essentially you just have everything anyway. So it doesn't really change all that much. Having two of these essentially guarantees big damage and a lot of hits, but having only one of them, you get to make a choice of going for many hits by constantly synchroing up and reviving and synchroing even more, or you can go into a path where you just have really big damage and punch once or twice. And if you have two of them, that means you have everything. So that is the read of, well, Tenpai Dragon. Now let's look at the guaranteed death. So I'm going to show you two different Tenpai Dragon combos. It's not really a combo, but it's just ways that they're going to execute an OTK against you. This is one of the worst ones. If they manage to leave a Bestial on board, then you're gonna have to somehow stop them from performing a Synchro Summon here. Likely what's gonna happen is gonna be summon out the Chandra, and then they just take the Chandra and the Magnemite and synchro that into immediately the Transcendent Dragon. Once they get Transcendent Dragon on the board, you are going to be locked out of everything. First of all, because this is a Fire Dragon, it's unaffected by anything because Sangan Summon's there. So if when we go into battle phase, you have no more response to anything that they're gonna do. So this is like the worst case scenario. Then they're just gonna go into battle phase. If they're holding a Sangan Kaiman, they're gonna go battle phase. On battle phase, I'm gonna activate this. You can't respond. You can't ash. You can't do anything. So they're gonna summon out another Chandra, and they're just gonna go into battle phase. Battle phase, and they're just gonna declare an attack with Chandra. Doesn't matter. They might hold this for like later on if they want to, but they can technically summon this also. They can summon it back. So once they're gonna go into like the whole board cracking, attack, damage step, Chandra effect, summon out Fadra, Fadra effect. Is there anything to bring back? Oh, there's a Chandra to bring back. So we're gonna bring back a Chandra anyway. And then whatever that they can swing into, they swing, say they can't break anything just yet, and now they're going to perform a Synchro Summon using either of the Chandra or the Fadra. And then they're gonna summon out Biden Dragon. Biden Dragon effect, summon back the Fadra. And now they can actually start breaking your board. Attack, break something, Fadra attack, Chandra attack. Remember, these can always constantly attack, and then they're just going to activate Fadra effect. And now we perform another Synchro Summon into Trident Dragon. And now these Trident Dragon pop these two. And then use the field spell, boost to the 6k, swing 3 times, and you're already dead. And you have no response to any of this, because that's just how this game works for this particular deck. And they can make things worse. Alternatively, if they needed like additional damage, what they can do is they would go Trident Dragon and pop these two. Now that multiple attacks have been declared, they can just summon this back from the graveyard as a quick effect. They can also summon a Biden Dragon from the graveyard and just keep on swinging. So having a level 6 on board immediately, and they can just summon out Chandra and they'll go for game, and they don't even need Pydra. That's all I got for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up and hit subscribe. Ding that notification bell. We're almost at 100k, and I'm probably not going to be in town while 100k is happening, so we will celebrate after we get back. Alright, so don't miss out on that. And, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.